know, I really thought that life would get better once I was big and muscly. Right? I really thought that women would be flinging themselves at me every time I went onto the street. I thought there'd be a fanfare of trumpets every time you take your top off. I don't really know what I was expecting. I mean, a letter from the Queen or the King now, I guess, would have been nice, right? But then again, there was never really a specific point where I just hit being jacked, right? It's not like you just wake up one morning and you're like, oh yeah, sick, mate. I'm a certified stud now. Do you know what I mean? And to be honest, when you're looking at yourself every single morning and every single night, hoping, praying to see some sort of difference, to see some muscle gained or some fat lost, you quickly start to lose all sense of progress. So much so that you can get completely demoralized and think that you're not making any progress, you're not getting anywhere, and you just end up quitting. You end up giving up on yourself. And I know this because I did it myself many, many times. And I see so many people that I know and that I'm friends with doing the exact same thing. Looking in the mirror, looking in the mirror is basically the same as watching the DVD logo bounce across your screen for hours on end, hoping, waiting for it to perfectly hit the corner of the screen, right? Endless disappointment. If you know what I'm talking about, then safe G. That was horrible. Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah. Losing fat, building muscle, these things take a lot of time, patience, and consistency, which I'm sure that you know. And there is no way around that. There's physically no way around it without chemical intervention, which, let's get it straight, is for pussies. I say that with a P. Pussy. Don't be that guy. It's just not worth it, right? And now I say that with love because one of my good friends used to or has used, either he maybe he does, maybe he is currently doing it, I don't know. And he'll probably make an argument for it, right? But at the end of the day, unless you're medically prescribed steroids or unless you're trying to make a career out of bodybuilding, you're just taking the easy way out like a little bitch, right? Sorry, mate, but it's true. It's true. Okay, and anyway, back to my point. There is, of course, a lot of nice things that come with finally achieving the physique that you want. Of course, there is. Like random compliments from friends and even strangers sometimes, or, you know, you feel full of confidence at the gym or on the beach or at your local swimming pool. I don't know. You can finally carry all of your shopping bags home without having to stop and rest every few seconds or every few meters. Like, that is quite possibly the most major benefit from building a shredded physique. Like, the grannies will be swooning over you. But anyway, other than a few practical benefits, right, and a lot more egotistical ones, might I add, nothing really changes. You're still the same guy. You still have the same problems, except now you're on the road to having crippling body dysmorphia, if you didn't have it already, right? And you've spent so much of your spare time inside of a dark, dingy, musky room, lifting heavy weights and grunting ineligible noises that you've probably evolved in reverse and lost all of your social skills, right? When I was younger and dumber, I truly thought that going to the gym and getting jacked would be the answer to all of my problems. Can't get a girlfriend? Oh, you're not muscly enough, mate. Start doing some bicep curls, yeah? Got social anxiety? It's because you don't look like a Greek... I don't know how to do the pose, mate. It's because you don't look like a Greek god, mate. Go start chugging some protein shakes, right? Or, you know, you feel like something's missing in life, or you're missing the cold, sweet touch of the barbell, yeah? Get under the bar and start squatting. Is what my old consciousness would have been saying to me and was saying to me. And, you know, I was absolutely obsessed with getting big for many years. It literally consumed me. It's all I thought about. It's all I did. Like, wake up, spend the day pretending to do work, eating an unnecessary amount of chicken and rice, secretly watching bodybuilder videos, go to the gym, eat some more, go to sleep, and repeat that. Like, it literally consumed me. And even though I was pursuing a healthy goal, right, I built some pretty unhealthy habits to do with my relationship with food and, well, my relationship with food and also sleep as well. But on the flip side, my obsession with achieving, this physique, this coveted aesthetic physique, meant that I basically never went out drinking. Like, when everyone else was at the pub on Fridays and Saturdays, I was at home with my girlfriend. I never wasted hundreds of pounds at the club. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? So there is some good flip sides to it. But the thing is, I got so lost in my pursuit of being this big, muscly hunk that I forgot to work what was on the inside, as cringe as that sounds. And it's not really cringe because it's quite a serious topic, to be honest. And I neglected my mental health. I forgot to learn to love the person that was on the inside, but forgot to love the person, I forgot to love myself for who I was, no matter how much fat or muscle I did or didn't have, right? And I let these things dictate how happy I was day to day and the decisions I made, even when they were objectively poor decisions. I would do things based on whether or not I would gain muscle from it or I would lose fat from it, like depending which stage I was at, right? And obviously you need to do things like that, but to an extent, right? To an extent. And it's funny how you can look at someone and think, wow, they're in such good shape. Like, they've really got it all going for them. Like, they look like they're in a great place. But really, they're in the gutter mentally. What's the point in being big and muscly? What's the point in having a six-pack if every time you look in the mirror, you still find yourself turning away in disgust? Right? What's the point if you literally start beating yourself up for having a couple chocolates every now and then, or pinching bits of fat on your body like you don't have the body fat percentage that most people would fucking kill for? Right? Like, that is an unhealthy relationship, unhealthy mindset, unhealthy place to be in your own head. I've lifted some pretty heavy weights over the years, right? And I've hit the bottom of many a squat in excruciating pain and done the dreaded pussy drop where you drop the bar onto the safety pins and it makes an almighty crash and everyone looks at you and goes, ha ha, he's a weak little bitch, right? But to be honest, the pain and, the the anguish is the only word that I can use of not liking who you are, of not liking where you are, is a lot worse than that. And it's a lot more embarrassing. And it's difficult to talk about. And it's not really something that I have talked about before. But I'd rather cry in a Lamborghini than in a Fiat 500, right? No, okay, that's just a silly joke that I made to lighten the mood. But I don't want to take away from what I've just said because it's serious, right? I always used to think that I was the only one feeling this way, that everyone else was just a lot more comfortable in their own skin and there was something wrong with me, like that. I don't know what it was, but I was looking at everyone. No one looked like they were worried about themselves. No one looked self-conscious. No one looked like they were anxious. And I've come to understand that everyone's in the same boat. Some people are just a lot better at hiding it than others. And as a guy, you don't really get to talk about this stuff. I've definitely never said any of this into a camera. Maybe once or twice I've said it to some of my closest friends after a couple of drinks. But trust me, writing it, speaking it, talking about it, even drawing it, not that I've ever done that, I would imagine it does. I would imagine it helps a lot, right? I've journaled pretty inconsistently. And I never really thought I saw much of a difference, but for me, like, the actual act of speaking about it, it helps a lot. Even if you're just speaking into a camera or speaking into the mirror. I don't know. It's okay to not be okay, right? Talk to someone about it. Even if it's just a diary that you write in. And I wasn't really expecting this video to take such a serious turn, but I'm glad it did. And I wish I could grab my 18-year-old self by the shoulders and shake some sense into him and just tell him all of this and tell him that it's going to be fucking okay. But you have to look on the inside. You have to train the inside of yourself, as cliche as that sounds. It's not all about how you look on the outside, right? I'm gonna stop waffling if I don't shut up there, right? Hindsight is truly a fine thing. Love you. Say it back.